My last lesson, and then it's been a long time in between. So I'm going to start with old ground and try to go through that quickly and get us to several subjects. One that was introduced in here is, when it comes to our appearance and working out or fitness or whatever for our husbands, is that something that God would want us to do, or make that something that would be, or for our wives as far as it goes, is that something that God would be pleased with? Is that something that should be a goal of ours? Is that just something that we should try to do? That's one of the things hopefully I'll get through today. Also, I'm kind of using this as kind of get us back to square one. We've only got a few more weeks in this class. And so we're going to try to talk about that. Also, we touched on pornography. And one of the things that I told you that I felt that I did a poor job is we reached the subject, but yet we really didn't talk about solutions. How do we, when we become addicted to that sort of thing, how do we overcome that? And there's no specific instructions on that particular item, but I have heard Jeff make a couple of times, and I remember some things that he said. And again, this class is for you. If you've got a question, please, ask it, and we'll try to look for a biblical answer. Even though the Bible doesn't address specific subjects that we now deal with in our society, the principles are there for us to be guided by. And I can give you all the experiences that I have, and it may ring true for your situation, and it may not. But the truth of the matter is, what the Bible says is going to be right on the mark. Sometimes we don't want to hear it. Sometimes we don't want to really listen to it because we want to direct our own lives. But we need to look seriously at what the Bible says, and we'll try to do that this morning. Before we start, I'm going to ask Kim, if will, to lead us in an open prayer.
Dear Father in heaven, we're so glad to be here this morning. Father, we're so glad for another beautiful Lord's Day that enables us to come out and worship you. Father, we pray that we'll enter this study and have prepared a lesson, Father, and listen to Brother Allen. May you have a ready recollection of what he has to say, and that we learn better how to conduct ourselves in our marriages, raise our children, Father, and treat our spouses in the correct way. Father, we pray that you'll be with all the teachers this morning. Help us to put away outside hindrances on us and always think on you and your Son and what he did for us, and study your word the way we're meant to be studied, from the heart and wanting to learn. Father, please be with us. Be with those who have been healed and sick. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
If you remember from several weeks ago, I put this picture up because most times we think the word intimacy, we tend to think of it in a sexual sense, and it's more than that. And that's what I wanted to really hope that we understand. And we're going through, I put that picture because when you were married, you're going to share a lot of intimate moments that only you and your husband or you and your wife share. And those are things that nobody else can take away from you. And sometimes it may be as simple as being, we just did a trip. We were in Lambeau Field yesterday, looking at the house that Lombardi built, and I never thought that Dawn would want to be a Packers fan by the time the end of the tour that we took it concluded. And she got fired up seeing those things and hearing those stories. And I'm sitting there, I've heard these stories, read about these stories all my life, so I had like a connection there. But we shared that together, and we'll always share that. And so when you look at intimacy, sometimes, especially guys, when it comes to intimate matters, guys sometimes misread signs and words and things along that line, and we need to do a better job sometimes of looking at that. So we talked about Christian intimate matters. We defined. We were looking at the differences. What are the enemies of intimacy? We looked at that. We talked about it's not just purely physical, but basically it's the closeness, the sharing, the togetherness, and a sexual relationship. We become one flesh when we become married, and part of that is the sexual relationship that you have with your mate. It's basically an intermingling of your body, your mind, and your soul, because when you are married to another Christian, your relationship goes much deeper. She's not just your wife, maybe possibly the mother of your children, but she is your sister in Christ, and it goes deeper, the intimacy there. And so your mind, we talked about how when you're together long enough, there you start dressing the same, saying the same things, coughing at the same time. You know, it's a number of different things that suddenly you begin to notice. I think there's reports now that we're out there about, they say when people start becoming their parents, their dad, y'all maybe have seen that. You know, the longer you're with someone, the more you share. A lot of times those things begin to happen. Your thoughts, your goals, and things that you do in life. There are things that you talk about, and this one of the things that we've talked about is it's really important that you don't, I guess, brings the idea of being sharing things that are intimate with you and your spouse to other people, because again, there are things that belong to you. Even there's an intellectual connection that, Donna and I play this game of, it's mental things that we say, we use these really bad puns and really cheesy jokes and things on that line that we ride in the car and something come up and we'll say it. Sometimes we'll say it at the same time. We hear something and we'll start singing a song because there was a word that we remember from a song and we'll start singing that song. You know, those are things that you share. You know, there's an intellectual connection. The idea of being one flesh goes much deeper than just a sexual relationship. You're joined together by God, and realize that importance. What does intimacy require? Exclusivity, which means basically it's just you and them. Okay? Any of y'all ever felt like someone violated the trust because they shared something that you shared with them that you really want somebody else to know? You know, just to give you an example, we have a thread on where we do texting with the elders, and I don't always read exactly who's on there sometimes very well because I've got several of them. And so I sent out a message to the other 3 men that I served with, and I sent it out to a couple of other people. And so I had to go back and say, sorry. And they said, we were pretty sure this wasn't meant for us. But one of the worst things that you could happen, and this happened to me when I was married, when we were married in our first years, is, I told my mother something. And so next thing you know, my wife's talking to my mother, she brings up something that my wife doesn't think that anybody knows but us two. And so you kind of learn from mistakes sometimes, but understand there's mutuality, meeting the needs, planning and nurturing each other, consistency, honest trust and loyalty, patience and forgiveness, putting the other person first, and this, which shows how intimacy goes in so many areas in your life, from the social to intellectual to the physical, spiritual. All those things are things that you share in your marriage. So feelings, physical relationships, hopes and aspirations, fears and dreams, your secrets, your lives, companionship and friendship in your godly life together. You share all those things. Enemies of intimacy, selfishness, hiding things from each other, interests. We become selfish. We put our interest ahead of everybody's interest. And, that becomes, it doesn't take long for you to realize that. And sometimes you do it inadvertently, but being inconsiderate, out of touch with what's going on in your spouse's lives can be a problem. You need to be considerate. Not setting aside time for each other. We're always, especially when you're working a really tough job, for example, long hours, sometimes it's hard. Men especially, sometimes you've been working all day and you come home and you got nothing left for your wife. Your wife can take care of the kids possibly, besides doing her job and things on the line. You come home, she's got nothing left for you. You need to look for ways to make time for each other. Ungodly lust, I think it's something that maybe we can get sometimes find it somewhat difficult to balance that, but ungodly lust is not the same as sexual desire for your mate. It's not the same. Flee youthful lust and pursue righteousness, love the Lord from a pure heart, abstain from lust. In Thessalonians, we looked at this, and it shows the difference between lust and having a desire that's ordained by God is not in passionate lust like the pagans who do not know God. There are people that lust in a way that's not God. And we need to be careful that we know the difference and that we separate ourselves from that. All right, and I think this is kind of where we got when I kind of rushed through it a little bit. But we talked about, in terms of physical intimacy, there are some problems. And because infidelity is the reason for divorce, there are situations where couples may feel like they are denying each other in some way or others. And sometimes they go looking for that relationship somewhere else. Sometimes it starts off innocent. You know, one of the things that women's liberation would say is a great thing in the sense that, you know, more women are working jobs and that sort of thing. But the truth of the matter is, one of the reasons that there are more divorces is there's been more opportunities for men and women to interact on the jobs. There's a lot of cheating, a lot of adultery gets begun in that particular way. You know, back in the 40s and 50s, when my mother was a stay-at-home mom, there was no opportunity for her to be with someone else because there just wasn't any opportunities. And so she starts working, her husband's working, and you know they feel like they're neglected, and next thing you know they innocent flirt, not think anything of it. You know, somebody shows them a little something, and then suddenly they go, well, I'm not getting that at home. And you know, you hate to have to put it that particular way, but it's the truth. And we have to look, you know, we have to rise above that. If we're having those kind of problems, we need to find a way to fix those, and not use someone else's way to try to fix it. Withholding sex can lead to frustration and fornication, leading to divorce. Problems can occur when partners' emotional or physical needs are not being met. And again, it's not just necessarily the sexual relationship, but for when someone feels like they're being left out or they're being shortchanged, or any way you want to put that, it can bring about problems. Withholding sex to punish or control your mate is not wise. I knew a man that I used to coach with, and he called the point system. He sometimes lost points, and sometimes he gained points. I'm just telling you the truth. And it's kind of like a standard joke in the office. He said, I did this, so man, I'm building up points. Well, there should be no point system. God doesn't talk about when it comes to our relationships in any particular way, or even in any situation where we keep score of what other people are doing. Who are we responsible for? Ourselves. We do what's right, regardless of what those circumstances are that surround us. And that's what God wants us to do. So withholding sex to punish or control your mate is obviously not wise. Midlife crisis, neglect, exit affairs, broken homes, and marriages can be a result. Work together to satisfy each other's needs. What does that take in order for you to make that work? And this is one of our big things that we have a lack of. Communication. Have a talk with them. Sometimes it may be uncomfortable, but it's not going to be as uncomfortable as something happens to your marriage, and you end up divorcing or separating or causing other people to get involved in that situation. Simply talk about it in a way. One of the things, I think we got one more class in here on this, and I thought that maybe we should talk about conflict resolution. What are ways that we can talk to our mate in a way that we can get things accomplished? I thought that might be something. If y'all would give me another direction, that's where we'll end up on our last class in here. You know, there's lots of ways, and I put up just these things. Now, this is from a guy's perspective. I don't know whether the ladies, and so if you think there's some other things, you know, happy date nights, leaving notes. I told you that my best note keeper thing that happened to me was a text, because I can do that. The other guys keep me about the emojis. They think I have a lot of fun with those things, and I put those things in. And I'm just trying to let her know that I am thinking of you. And usually there's something humorous about it, but something along that line works well for me. At least I think it does. Phone calls. I have found that when I was at work, that if I just called my wife, called Donna and talked to her for a little bit, even though she knew I was busy, that meant a lot. It was just, try and check on you, see if you're doing okay, as opposed to, I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, I went to work, we played a game, and I got home at 11 o'clock. That doesn't work very well. Compliments, physical touching, terms of endearment, looks, and you understand sometimes that you can make contact without ever saying a word. And doing for. I put these random acts of love. The great acts of love are done by those who are habitually performing small acts of kindness. There are little things that sometimes we don't realize how much that means to somebody, that you would do that. Without, doing for without having to be asked, without expecting something in return. I'm sorry. I should clarify. My mind worked well. I did get home at 9:30 last night and tried to settle down and then try to work on this about 12. So I'll use that excuse. Treat them like they're special because they are special. You chose them. They chose you. There was something special about them before, and certainly, they're still your wife. They're still your husband, and treat them in that particular way. We got a great addition to class just now. All right, this is where we get to what does it mean to marriage to death in the Bible? Anybody want to discuss that? It's holy in God's eyes. Exactly. What else? Can you contaminate this undefiled dead? Can you contaminate it? Sure. Uncontaminated, set apart for a man and woman who are strictly married. That's what it means. It's uncontaminated. It's not. I think one of the things maybe it's hard is if you have been keeping yourself all these years celibate for your wife, for your husband, and then you get married, you've been suppressing your urges or whatever you want to refer to that as, your desires. And now sometimes some people it's hard to go to that step. Where are the lines? How far does this go and that go? According to this, it's undefiled. It's the places that God allows you to do those things that He prohibits before marriage. That's as simple as I can put it. Adultery, fornication, homosexuality, prostitution contaminate the marriage bed. And so obviously those things that you want to stay away from. These defile what God has sanctioned. Romans uses the word unnatural. It refers to things that are, homosexuality is unnatural. It's not the way God intended. If it's not the way God intended, then it is sin. Can't get away from it, folks. People don't, they won't hurt, feel for people who struggle with these things. But everybody struggles with something. It still always comes down to a choice. People make choices as to whether you will serve God or not serve God, whether you're going to do what's right or not do what's right. When you know the truth and you choose, it becomes sin. Leviticus refers to it as an abomination. Abomination actually sounds worse than a sin, doesn't it? You use that word right there, but it's not something that God is pleased with. They can corrupt the heart of those in marriage. So we want to make sure that we keep these type of things out. All right, and that thought, when I was doing that, that's when I said I need to go back and talk about what few things that I've listened to and heard when it comes to, and try to reconcile this with what God teaches us. I think probably the younger generation, y'all ever seen the commercials where it says, this is your brain, and they show an egg, and then they put it in a skillet, and it's fried, and they say, this is your brain on drugs. Y'all ever seen a commercial like that? I think it's a generational thing. But here's your brain on heroin, and then here's your brain on porn. It becomes an addiction, and it becomes something that people struggle with. And generally speaking, most time it affects men because men seem to be more visually affected by what they see than women. And I don't want to get into the science of that, but that's what most people understand. And so, this, I think, basically shows you how much of this can impact people. We can sometimes, if we don't have that problem, sometimes we look at other folks and go, I don't know why they got that problem. I don't have that problem. You know, we all understand that we're wired differently, and it's hard to just put everybody into the same boat when it comes down to it. All right, defeating porn addiction. This is what, and again, I'd love your input on this. Porn addiction violates intimacy. It is a sin. It can lead to deeper problems. Anybody not understand? Adultery was not this kind of decision. Adultery was thought out way ahead of time. Does that make sense? A person in the Bible says it's adultery for a man to look on a woman in lust. Because God understands that is just the beginning of the process. Now, you know, my experience is it's really hard for a man, especially in today's society, to avoid things that would make him lust. By the way people dress, by what you see on TV, by what you're exposed to inadvertently on the internet sometimes. There just seems to be these temptations out there. We have to understand temptation is not sin. Jesus was tempted, and he didn't sin. So when we are experiencing these things, or these things come into our way, what are our choices? What would we do to prevent that from happening again, or how do we handle it? I coached with the guy who was as squeaky clean as I've ever seen, and we were, I never had to do it. It's pretty good, coach. Right there. And so we had first day of practice, and we were driving to go get something to eat, and we were driving along, and all of a sudden he goes, "Whoa!" And he stopped the car, and he backed it up, and he said, "Look at that!" And there was a girl in a bikini sitting in a lounge chair in her backyard. I don't know how he saw it. Maybe this is the reason the guy just what God does. The guy's eye, his eyes was like, boom. He knows that. And I think the reason I'm telling you this is we get experiences like that every single day. You know, ladies, when it comes to modesty, how we dress impacts not just you, it impacts other people. And same thing with guys. If we try to reveal ourselves out in public in ways that are not godly, you know, we can impact other people. So it's not just about you; it's about other people too. You want to be a stumbling block. You want to cause problems for them. And so the same thing happens when it comes to pornography. We're exposing, we are corrupting. Any questions or comments? All right. Divorce, 68%, they say, and I don't know who does these statistics, but 68% met somebody online. That has opened up a whole new category. And we talked about the job, you know, somebody's job opening up opportunities because of people they work with. 56% of those divorces, porn addiction was also one of the factors. How do you think men or women would feel if they felt like their spouse needed that in order to be attracted to them, or they had to go someplace else? You know, that would be something that would be, I would hurt somebody's esteem, I would believe, very seriously. Obviously, one of the things you got to do is admit your sin. We think of the prodigal son in Luke. He'd been in a life of that was, you know, righteous living, I believe is the way it was described. These types of things were obviously going on, and then he came to himself. And so the first thing before you do anything, you have to realize I'm in sin. It's just like any other sin. I have to fix it. I have to fix it. And admit that, realize our weakness and our need for help. There are some things that you need help in, and sometimes we are too proud to ask anybody. We all want to do it ourselves. You know, cigarettes, for example, are like the number one addictive thing. People that start smoking, they just almost cannot quit. Now, every once in a while, Dog's daddy was told by the doctor, if you don't stop, you're going to die. He stopped by a trash can with his car, opened up the window, took all his cigarettes, stick his hand out, dropped them, and he quit cold turkey. Boom, that was it. My mother and daddy struggled for 30 years. They would quit and they would fight. And they get mad at each other because they get irritable, and so they go back. So, come to yourself. If you come to yourself and realize that I'm struggling with this, I've got to take care of it, admit your sin. Take a moral inventory of yourself and find a way, and don't avoid trying to justify why you're doing that. What would be one of the justifications for someone who would turn to pornography or open this door? Maybe in the area. What would be a justification for this?
It's not real fornication.
It's not real fornication. There's no one else really involved. Is there no one else involved in pornography? Absolutely there is. Okay. That's easy to say. I heard one, y'all know that the teaching profession has really taken a hit with the number of teachers who have had, and this is compared to their students and stuff. And in the coach's office, you hear about a coach, and that information will get to us and be discussed. And one of the coaches says, and he has a daughter, he says, when I see schoolgirls, he says, I think of Heather. I said, there's my daughter. And that's basically, that's the way he was able to put things together and resent and kind of keep himself, by reflecting that particular way, and being able to keep himself from going into lustful thoughts or that sort of thing. Obviously, there are young schoolgirls who look like adults, can't tell the difference. And some people use that as justification. And when it comes to pornography, we do realize that image on there, and I'm talking from a man's standpoint, is that somebody's daughter, or somebody's wife, or somebody's grandmother, or somebody's sister. You understand what we're talking about? That's somebody's mom or dad that we're looking at. And so you can't justify that particular way. A lot of those folks are desperate for money, and it's what they do to try to make a living to some degree, and that doesn't justify it. But it's not. Some people will say that doesn't damage anybody. It does. And most of all, it's damaging you. If it's damaging you, it's damaging your relationship between your wife and your husband. Pray and repent. That means turn from it. Make amends with those we've hurt. Porn is not a victimless sin. When I got this morning reading again, I put crime. Well, it's not a crime. It's not a crime, but it's not a victimless sin. You confess privately. This is something I heard Jeff May say, and I think it makes good sense. Since this is possibly a private sin, not a public sin, this may be someone that someone that you trust implicitly that you will use for them to hold you accountable. To confess them that I have a problem with this, and then you got to trust them, God is trust them that they'll keep that to themselves, and basically you said about it, I have you accountable. I think this is used, a lot of these things are used in the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. They have like a 12-step program, which is very well guided by a lot of scriptures and stuff. And so, therefore, I think there's a lot of application there.
I was going to say, kind of along the confessing line, the first point you have up there works in the inverse. Intimacy can defeat porn addiction, and it can defeat any addiction. Especially if somebody's trying to work through it. If somebody's got an alcohol problem, they're going to want to hide it. But the availability or the opportunity for you to be open to confess it if you're in a marriage situation, as much as you can talk about it, to be open to cultivate good intimacy, that will help in any way to go.
I think you're exactly right. I think one of the things that prevents, say, a man confessing this to his wife and then working through it together, is that kind of what you're relating to, is their fear that their wife will not understand. They won't understand the differences between the way they feel about this and the way they want to feel about it. Even though it is sin, and men know that it's a sin, but still, the fear that they won't understand. There are some, this, this is going to come up in our marriage class. There are some people who believe that this is grounds for divorce. They would say that's sexual immorality, and therefore it is grounds for divorce. If a man lusts in his heart, and that's committed adultery, then I've got a scriptural reason. Elder Sheard and I will discuss this in great depth because it can give some credence to that. We all agree that this doesn't really meet the text. That there has to be a physical relationship, not looking at pictures and stuff. That we look at that in great depth, and that I did a study on myself to look at that. Counseling may be needed, and that will come in your brethren, possibly even professionals in some situations. Pluck it out. The Bible says if something is offending, we need to pluck it out. Well, I don't expect you to pull your eyes out. We have nothing to climb to. We expect you to go out and cut your arm off or all those sort of things. But get rid of it by, some of y'all have seen the movie Fireproof. Some of y'all seen that? Y'all may have seen where the guy took his computer eventually, he figured it out, and he just took that and beat him with a bat out back, and his neighbor scratched his head and what's going on. But that's right. If that's what it takes, it's better for you to not have your eyes than it is to go down. I mean, that's the analogy that God's trying to make. So get rid of it. And you don't have to pull your eyes out to do this. You put locks on sides. One of the things that you got young people, and even in your situation, is you put the computer in a place where it's fun. Don't put the computer in a little room back in the back where nobody knows what's going on. Never put a computer in with your children. Once now we give them iPads. We kind of dig ourselves in the hole sometimes. And there's no way that you cannot have the going on the internet and not be exposed to it. I was at a school that I don't know where this happened. I don't know if some kid did this as a joke, but I'm sitting there getting ready to put on a presentation, and next thing you know, just out of nowhere, this scene just shows up. I could not find the turn off button fast enough because I just never expected it. Then I went straight to our guy and said, I don't know how this. He said, we've got some kids that are very tech savvy and they will do this as a joke. So he said, we can tell our teachers when you leave the room, be sure you lock the door. Because there are kids that think that's funny. All I know is I'm thinking if they look at my computer, they're going to fire me because I got these images on it. So get rid of it. Fill the void with godly pursuits. If there's something that's part of your life and you take it away, what are you going to do with that time? I mean, when I retired, I had to figure a way how to fill the void, and try to find godly pursuits. Try to find things that you can do that would be better. Pray for God to help you remove your sin. We need God's help. Now, do you think this is going to be? Yes. When it comes to addictions, do you think that everybody will be able to say, you know what, I made a decision that I'm not going to do that, and therefore it'll never happen to me? If you have a problem with your mouth or what you say, whether it be a lie, whether it be curse words, whatever it is, does that ever happen to you again? It can happen to you again. And what do you do then? You repent again. Remember I've used this example a lot, and it makes sense to me because I'm a simple person. When I'm driving, I'm constantly making adjustments. And I will tell you that on this long drive that we went through 3 states, all the way around Lake Michigan and all that kind of stuff, that I don't always stay between lights. That's those little things that rumbles very loudly. Anytime she hears that, she'll go, and I said, maybe I'm not perfect. I can do the best I can. But I get distracted sometimes. But your life is no different. Your life is no different. When you're living life, you're going to make mistakes. And the consistent thing to do is you say, I'm sorry, and turn away from it, and try to do it again. If it comes up, That's where it says, how many times supposed to forgive people? 70 times 7, 7 times 7, right? And so, what that really saying is, there's no limitation of God's grace. There's no limitation. So, any comments or other things? Yes.
In regard to sin in general, as we battle sin in our lives, we learn to reduce sin and it's about self-control, control our minds constantly. But the ultimate battle is won by control thoughts on God.
That's right. I mean, there are a lot of people walking around and by visual, look at them visually, you would think nothing's wrong with them. They're wrong. We don't know what's going on with their character. And so we all struggle. Sometimes we think, nobody struggles this with me. It's not. Yeah.
About the solution on this. Talking about those workers tonight, love me without hypocrisy. It's good. And think about John chapter 3, verse 19. This is the judgment. The light is coming to the world, and people love the darkness rather than the light. For their works were evil. For everyone who does wicked things hates the light. And does not come to the light, lest his work should be exposed. Whoever does what is true comes from the light, so they stand clearly seen his works that he carried out in love. We're struggling with many matters. We need to seek light for a lot of reasons. First of all, it will help correct us, but it will also shine the light on our weaknesses and have others help us to correct it. Because what we get into, the trouble we have, we know what the light does. We veer away from that light, start getting in trouble. We see continue in the darkness. And there's just so many metaphors that what the light represents. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's parents know that. You've heard this before. Nothing good happens after 10 o'clock. I mean, that's the reason why people wait till it's dark. They wait till there's nobody around. They do things. And when I'm searching Google Images, I'm trying to look at this, I'm trying to show some guy in a dark room, just a screen on his face, and then looking at whatever he's looking at in the dark. And so, it's not difficult to understand, but it's hard to stop once you get any type of addiction. This is to show how the protection when it goes through that. So we have to be careful. We need to, deal with it. That's the bottom line. I think it's one of those things that nobody really wants to deal with. It's not something that's fun to talk about. All right. And this goes to when we look at, should we keep, when it comes to keeping ourselves fitness-wise and attractive-wise for our husband or our wife, is that something that God wants us to do? Okay, what is that? Is that personal? What do y'all think before I give you my thoughts? Is that something that a wife or husband should aim his life at, and make sure that I will, and this is, I'm hearing you from what you need. Is that important?
Depends on the wording. You change the wording 3 different times. You ask the question.
It's not an easy question to ask when you're right there to come and try to look at it.
I'll say this. I don't think it's wrong for a husband or a wife to try to make themselves more presentable to their spouse. To try to help them if they've got struggles in that area. There's nothing wrong with it. And on the flip side of that, if you just completely let yourself go, if you're finding trouble because of the wandering eyes of a particular man. But on the other hand, the way you worded it the second time is, should that be what we focus on? Any answer to that?
Pretty much the same thing. Just go back to the pornography thing. If your spouse is struggling with that, you're going to want to help them. You want to do what you can. So you're going to stay good.
Okay. Both answers is kind of what I kind of arrived at, is that who are you doing this for? Look, it's right there. honestly, why did you put that on? Why did you wear that? What was your intent when you put on those impact things, or the thing that was cut down here, or cut up there, or see-through? What was your intent? It's not about what it covers, it's about where was your heart. And so same thing when it comes to this. A virtuous woman, her price is far above rubies. When I think of a virtuous woman, the idea of how she looks does not. Okay. Now, I know an old guy, but the bottom line is people marry each other. Part of it is that they're attracted to it. And keeping yourself fit, if that's for your husband and for your wife, David says there's nothing wrong with that. As y'all know, this is a fitness crazed country. There, half the commercial has something to do with losing weight, looking this way and looking that way. And how much effort do we put in that as opposed to how much time we spend on the universe? If I'm spending, I've done some crazy things. I've run 3 marathons. That's sometimes on Sunday afternoon, as soon as church was over, or I ran until it was time to go to church, but that was the long way. And you have to be disciplined in order to do that. I've done the weights things. I've done the weight loss. I've lost 1 million pounds in my life. I gained pretty long back. But I lost 60 pounds in 2.5 years. 2.5 months myself. I can lose weight. I really want to probably do it. That's not healthy, not very wise. I've done the get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go for a run, or do 6,000 road jumps, or whatever it is that I have to do. I've done all that stuff. Beauty is fleeting. Beauty should not come from the outward door, gray hair, wearing the gold, fine clothes instead, or basically your appearance. Instead, it should be that of your inner self. The unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit is great in God's sight. So, women and men, we are all made in His image, fearfully and wonderfully made. You're unique, beautiful in appearance. When it comes to women, I couldn't put all the list of words that the Bible has to describe how much we want to be. Now, I'm going to say this to the guys. We do this to ourselves sometimes. And I've actually heard people say this because of, I guess, the way God makes us. Sometimes men choose their wife based on looks and not on anything else. Then what happens? Jeff may tell the story, and I'll butcher it. Apparently, this man met his wife. He saw her sing because she was the prettiest thing he ever seen. She was singing to a beautiful voice. And at the time they got married, during the honeymoon period, he woke up one morning and the sun was just coming in. For the first time, he saw his wife without a makeup on. I'm sure this is a lie. Not a lie, but maybe sort of. But he looked there, she was very attractive. He shook her, and shook her, and shook her. Right? He says, honey, get you some.